Hello, today we're starting day 3 of our word problems in Unit B. We are going to do a comparison word problem and a current word problem. Okay, for comparison word problems, there's very similar to when we just did elimination and substitution. Basically, look for two variables and two equations. So it says there were 1,321 students who wore black and gold on Friday. 135 fewer students wore black than gold. How many students wore black? How many students wore gold? Well, first of all, we know that there's a total of black and gold students were 1,321. Then we know that there are 135 fewer students wore black than gold. So I know that if I take the students that wore black and I take the students that wore gold and I subtract 135, that's going to give me what would equal the black. Now, you could also have had the gold are going to be those that wore black plus 135. Either one of these will work. So notice the difference, okay? So what you need to think to yourself is which one is greater. The one that is greater are the students that wore the gold, right? Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and use my original. Take this, substitute it in because it's already set up for substitution. So I get G minus 135 plus G equals 1,321. I'm going to add 135 to both sides and go ahead and combine my two G's. So 2G equals 1,456. So the students that wore gold were 728 students. I can go ahead and plug this in here to find the students that wore black. So the students that wore black were 593 students wore black and 728 students wore gold. So pretty simple problem. If we take a look at the next one, I do want you to try this one on your own because sometimes students have a hard time writing that second equation. So go ahead, pause the video, try this one on your own, and then when you come back, we will go ahead and start a current problem. Okay, welcome back. Current problems, there are 3 steps to doing current problems. They're a little bit different than all the problems that we have done before. So let's just get started. A boat travels 60 kilometers upstream against the current in 5 hours. The boat travels the same distance downstream with the current in 3 hours. What is the rate of the boat in still water? What is the rate of the current? So step 1 is we need to calculate the two rates. We know the distance and we know the time. So we are going to have against the current is going to be 60 divided by 5. So we go ahead and we get 12 kilometers per hour. And then we have the same distance, but this time in 3 hours. So we have 20 kilometers per hour. Now, that's step 1. We need to calculate the rates. Step 2, we are either going in still water with the current or we are going against the current. So with the current is plus. With the current is going to get the faster rate. So this one gets the 20. Against the current is going to get the slower rate. We're subtracting. So this is S stands for still water and C stands for the current. Now, this is a pretty easy problem to solve. So this was step 2, and step 3 is just to solve. We get 2S equals 32, so our S is 16. So what does that mean? That means the rate of the still water. Even though water is still, it still has a motion. So the rate of the still water is 16 kilometers per hour. The rate of the current is, take your 16, plug it in, 16 plus C equals 20, so 4 kilometers per hour. Okay? I'm going to help you when we go ahead and try this. You try. All right, now, let me help you. It says when the plane flies into the wind, it can travel 3,000 kilometers in 6 hours. When it flies with the wind, it can travel the same distance in 5 hours. Find the rate of the plane in still air and the rate of the wind. Okay, so basically the step 1 is to calculate the two rates. So you have kilometers per hour, kilometers per hour. I want you to fill in the blanks. then we're still going to have our two equations. We're going to have the still air with the wind, so this one gets the bigger number, and we are going to have the still air against the wind. Then you are going to solve. So I want to let you try this one on your own. So go ahead, pause the video and do that. And when you come back, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, go ahead, write it on the bottom of the paper, and I will see you tomorrow in class.